This is my ranking for every chapter, 1 to 6, plus the first section of the epilogue for Red Dead Redemption 2. Only because I haven't yet started the second section of the epilogue, but that will be in today's stream. At bottom place number 7, we have the first section of the epilogue. This is still enjoyable. To be honest, after playing as Arthur for so long, it feels weird playing as John. I'm just straight up not used to it in the slightest. Still enjoy it. I just feel like the missions aren't as exciting, which is okay. The change of pace, considering everything that happened, all the stuff that went down at the end of chapter 6, going into a slower paced section of the story is okay. I don't mind it. It's just not as enjoyable and not as peak as the rest of the chapters, in my opinion. Okay, next up we have chapter 2. This might be a hot take, but before I say anything, let me preface that something has to be at the bottom, okay? I'm ranking greatness against greatness. Every single one of these chapters, 1 to 6, I think is absolutely peak gameplay. Something has to be at the bottom, okay? And unfortunately, it is chapter 2. I did still really enjoy it. I like the western feel of Strawberry Valentine. The missions were fun. To be honest, I just think it went on a wee bit too long. That's kind of my only main complaint. But I still loved it. And a great start to the open world story after getting out of that snow section of chapter 1. Next up, speaking of chapter 1, we have, of course, chapter 1. Obviously, I think this is a heavily underrated section of the game, and maybe that's why I have it above chapter 2. Let me just be clear, it's very close between the two. They're like neck and neck, but I have chapter 1 just above, and maybe that's because people don't like chapter 1 that much, which is crazy to me. I've heard a lot of people say, oh yeah, I stopped playing the game because chapter 1 was too boring, takes too long, and I'm like, I thought it was a perfect introduction to Red Dead Redemption 2, and I just loved it. The snow aesthetics peak. I enjoyed getting thrown into it and having to work out what's going around, meeting all the characters. I just thought it was great. So I've got that slightly above chapter 2. Next up, we have Gorma, and I want to say this could maybe be even higher. I know this is sort of like a mixed opinion chapter. Some people love it, some people hate it. I really, really enjoyed it. Felt very different to the rest of the other chapters. Obviously, you're on a completely different setting. You're on this remote island. Very linear storytelling. You know, there's not much open world to it, which some people don't like, but to be honest, I thought it was a nice change of pace, considering the rest of the chapters are all very open world, apart from chapter 1. And you could pick which stories you do in which order. Going to an island where you're sort of set that you have to do these missions in these orders. I thought it was great. I thought every mission on Gorma was absolutely peak, and the missions felt different. I was blowing up Navy ships as Arthur Morgan. So much fun. My only complaint is I wish it was a little bit longer, but I thought there was no filler in it, which was perfect, and honestly, it could be even higher up on my list. Next up, we have chapter 4. Now, this chapter broke something inside of me. I literally had to get off after I streamed playing it and just reflect on everything that happened. Especially in the last couple missions of this game, everything just went crazy. Obviously, we had Hosea and we had Lenny in the same mission. I really enjoyed it. Saint Denis was very different to the rest of, the cities and the places that we'd seen in Red Dead. And I did like it, but I didn't love it. Let's put it that way. I did like the camp. It was decent camp, but to be honest, the missions in this chapter were so much fun, and that's why I have it so high, even though I don't rate Saint Denis that much, but and I don't know if I should mark these chapters down for their deaths. Like Jose and Lenny, I miss so much, bro. They were probably my favorite characters in the game, and they both got taken from me in such quick time. But the missions in this chapter were absolutely peak, and yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Next up, we have chapter 6. Now, this could be recency bias because I literally only played it yesterday. I am really sad. It really did not turn out the way I thought it was going to. Everything that happened with Arthur at the end, Micah, Dutch, those last couple of missions, everything was just building up, and it was going insane at the end. I was so stressed. I was so angry. I was so sad. And thankfully, I got the high honor ending and chose to help John. So I think that's the best ending, in my opinion, for Arthur Morgan out of the options that we had, of course. Yeah, just absolutely peak gameplay. I was getting extremely sad in those last couple of seconds. But yeah, the missions, I want to say the Indian tribe missions are heavily underrated. I really, really enjoyed them. I thought I wasn't going to, but then I started playing through them. I loved Rainsfall. I thought he was a great addition. And yeah, the missions in this chapter were a lot, but in a good way. And at the number 1 spot, we have chapter 3. I absolutely loved this chapter. I don't think people really rate it that high, but I thought it was great. Rhodes was by far my favorite location. I love the aesthetic. I love the camp. Until, of course, everything went wrong in Rhodes. I really enjoyed basically all of the missions in chapter 3. It was longer than I thought it was going to be, and not in a bad way. I loved every second of this chapter. Upon reflection, further down the line, maybe these rankings could change slightly, but for now, Chapter 3 is at the top, and of course, we lost Sean. RIP, my goat. I was not ready for that death. I could tell something felt wrong when we were walking through roads, but I didn't think it was going to end like that. I will be continuing the epilogue. Part 2 will be streamed today. Name is in bio, and we'll be playing Red Dead Redemption 1 afterwards. Peace.